Good morning, VC. Hope everyone's doing well. I'm really excited about this. I just listened to this EP, Power to the People, recently purchased at Record Store Day, April 12th, 2025. 4-track EP, brand new mixes, 180 gram yellow vinyl. I like to call it yellow matter Custer vinyl. But this is with Elephant's Memory, and if you remember, Elephant's Memory was a band that I think John basically put it together like the Plastic Ono band. Here's their album, their debut album. Don't know how many albums they have. It has an elephant in the back, not the GOP, just an elephant. This is produced by John and Yoko. Here's the inner, really cool. This is on Apple. Great Apple label. And there's the jacket. So I'm just pointing that out because the lineage, and they were on the 1-to-1 concert, which is where this EP was gleaned and remixed, remastered by Sean, Ono, Lennon, and some other folks. Don't know their names, but you could look that up. But Sean said it was a challenge. It was a lot of fun because it was a challenge because the original record was kind of disappointing. And here's the CD. I'm looking for my LP. I'm not sure if I still have the LP, but I did talk about this CD. It's kind of like I'm kind of doing these predictions where this should have been a box set, and we're going to learn later on that there's some new things coming down the pike from the John Lennon estate. So we'll talk about that after this review and discussion about Power to the People's over. But this is the original CD that I had for years. And there were 2 shows that day at the Madison Square Garden, New York City. And I'm going to talk about that. I have this great book that I was looking for something else, and then I saw this on my shelf. So that's a great coincidence when that happens. Serendipity. When that happens, I love that. So I'm going to read some passages from that, and then I'm going to talk about this Power to the People EP. I'm really glad I have it. I did a cleaning and an unboxing earlier. It comes in a beautiful poly-lined sleeve, black, which is nice contrast with this yellow matter Custer vinyl. It's heavy vinyl. It's not translucent. It's a thick yellow. It's not see-through as some of the other Record Store Day records are. And on the back we have great photos of the band that I've never seen before in concert with John and Yoko in concert at the Garden, and some notes here on who produced it, who re-edited it, has actually who's on it, and I'll go over that when I talk about the contents of the record. But first I want to I just love it. I'm going to say that right here, but I'm going to go into more specifics. I haven't seen many reviews. I scanned YouTube earlier to see what other folks were saying. I know Joe Mayo showed it on his channel. He had a promo copy, which is great. So I think I have to contact Sean. I think I should be getting some of these promos before they come out. I do more Beatles than some Beatle channels. I talk about Beatles a lot. This is almost a Beatle channel. And I'm going to talk to Sean. I'm going to try to give Sean a call. I'm one of the few people who like Yoko. I don't think Yoko broke up the Beatles. I don't know if that was just a hyperbole that's going on for the last 50 years or whatever. But I'm going to read from this. This is a great book. This is one of those books that have memorabilia in them. These are called Illustrated Life of John Lennon, a Lennon Legend. This is probably an easy book to pick up. Here's the little inner sleeve. It has a CD, which I haven't listened to in a long time. This was from 2003, so I've had it for that many years. I think I picked it up one year for Christmas. But I want to go over the actual chapter or segment on the 1-to-1 concert. Now, the 1-to-1 concert was something that John and Yoko did for charity. That came out after Sometime in New York City LP, which is one of my favorite LPs, and that also deserves a redo box set. I don't know if that's coming down, but we'll talk about it. But John and the Ocean Child, which is Yoko, just every time I listen to something from John, I'm kind of melancholy because he should have never been taken from us. I actually went to Ferncliff Cemetery in Westchester County, New York, where John's remains were cremated. I have a video up on that. So I'm going to go through. I'm trying to find this little segment here. But this is a great book. You see it has, different memorabilia in here that's, tangible. Okay, Sometime in New York City. So Sometime in New York City, the album, the double album, which is one of my favorites, was released September, I believe in 71. And they were on Mike Douglas, they were on Dick Cavett. Those are all on TV. So just my coffee with Elvis here. Elvis, you all know how John felt about Elvis and how Elvis probably felt about John. So here's a little bill from the 1-to-1 concert, which you don't see too often. I'm going to hold that up a few seconds. And so you can see this is a flap, and there's a shot from that era of John and the Ocean Child, Yoko. So I'm just going to go into a little bit about what it says here about this concert, and then we'll go into the review. So thanks a lot. I want to thank everyone for stopping by today. Thanks everyone for watching. There's a million channels on YouTube, and we try to support each other. I made some really good connections, good colleagues. I consider them colleagues for people who run these VC YouTube channels. Okay, so I'm just going to read fast here. John was going through a lot of stuff at this time. He was trying to get a visa to stay here. The Nixon administration wanted him out. He was constantly fighting that. So let me see. Shortly after the release of, this is from this book. Shortly after the release of Sometime in New York City on August 30th, John and Yoko performed 4 concerts at Madison Square Garden to benefit the 1-to-1 organization, a group that helped find housing for mentally retarded children. The shows included several songs from the New York City album, as well as other hits, and raised $1.5 million for charity. Now that $1.5 million for charity is substantial in, what was this, 72, 70, in 71, so 72, that was substantial. That's, I don't know what today's market, today's inflation, maybe 10 million. Yeah. The 1-to-1 concerts aired on ABC TV the following December, as did Imagine, John and Yoko's 81-minute color film featuring music from John's album of the same name, a great documentary, as well as guest appearances by George Harrison, Fred Astaire, and Andy Warhol, and of course Dick Cavett. I met Dick Cavett. I sat with him at the Players Club for a birthday party for Robert Vaughn, Napoleon Solo, the Magnificent Seven, Robert Vaughn, Bullet, Robert Vaughn. We sat with him and we talked. It was at Robert Vaughn's birthday party again, and we talked. And of course, I brought up the Beatles, and I actually sent Cavett a CD rip of Sometime in New York City to his, wherever he was staying at, wherever he was living in a penthouse apartment in New York City. But he was really cool. But while the Lennons were focusing on their activism, their U.S. visas had expired on February 29, 72. So this was a really tumultuous time for John and Yoko. But we want to actually focus on this record, not on the challenges that John and Yoko faced at that time. But we're going to go into it now. Benefit concert for the children of Willowbrook with Plastic Ono Elephants Memory Band, and this is also a. I just want to pull this out before I start. You can see just like a little handkerchief there. I'm going to pull that out and see what that is. That's a little promo here. You have a little note from John and Lennon about the Declaration on Utopia. This is 1973. I know I'm getting off on a tangent, but I want to pull this out and show you. And it's just a white, give peace a chance, right? It's a white handkerchief, and really cool stuff. So this is a great book, and it goes into some more detail on every aspect in records and live performances, and where their heads were at the time of the 70s. So that's that. But we're going to talk about this record. Okay, so this record are mixes from this album. They call it Live in New York City. It's a one-to-one concert. On the record, on the actual record itself, New York City, It's So Hard, Woman is the of the World, Well, 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 Instant Karma, We All Shine On, Mother, Come Together, Imagine, Cold Turkey, Hound Dog, and Give Peace a Chance. We All Shine On, John Lennon, produced by Yoko Ono. So there's a booklet in here, and I'll find the record and I'll actually highlight that one day. But this is one of the best purchases I made on Record Store Day. I'm so glad I got this. It actually has a hype sticker, April 12, 2025. And they give you all the credits on here. I'm just going to go over who's on it. Lennon vocals, electric guitar. Wurlitzer, Yoko Ono vocals. Jim Kelter, John Bronstein, Rick Frank on drums, who does a great job. Wayne Tex Gabriel, electric guitar. John Ippolito, electric piano. Gary Van Syke, bass. John Ward, bass. David Peel's Human Voice Choir, backing vocals. David Peel was a cool dude. He did the Pope Smoke Dope, which I have a copy of his. This was digital transfer, created from an original 2-inch 16-track analog master tape. Track 1, Evening Show. Tracks 2, 3, and 4 from Afternoon Show. Tracks 1, 2, and 3 written by John Lennon. Track 4 written by Yoko. All tracks live at the one-to-one concert, Madison Square Garden, New York City, August 30th, 1972. And this, of course, is the 2025. And this is on Mercury for some reason, not on EMI or Capitol or Mercury. It's on Mercury. But I want to hold up the shots there without the glare. And I'll show you the record again. It's beautiful, yellow, solid vinyl, great label. But let me tell you, I put this on, and it doesn't state that it's a 45. I think I knew that, but I had my table on 33, and of course I heard the guitar riff. The guitar riff, sounded great. Well, that's on Cold Turkey, but it just, I actually put on side B first, then I flipped it, and I realized I'm slow. I need a 45, so it just rocks, man. This is so much clearer, so much sonically articulate than the original LP. And that LP, I think that's why LP really never resonated well with the Lennon fans. Lennon said he had a great time doing it. Says one of the best times he had. And there were 4 shows. I originally didn't know that there were 4 shows until I started looking back into this when I did my review on the one-to-one concert sometime in New York City. I actually predicted and actually recommended that becomes a box set and that's cleaned up. So what Sean did was he went in and he took these songs from the tapes and cleaned these up, and they're magnificent. Well, Well, Well is a different version than what you hear here, so it's a different show, and I just said the shows, so it's incredible. John sounds clear up front. Of course, it's 45, so it's rich. Instant Karma, We All Shine On, will get you dancing. It will get you dancing. Again, this is not only one of the most anticipated Record Store Day purchases, but it's actually, it fulfills the anticipation when you hear it. It's not just, I got it, I'm going to keep it sealed, I love it because it's John. No, this is playable. This shows you what today's technology in the hands of someone who cares, like Sean and Yoko and whoever else was involved with the remastering of this record from analog to digital file to this. This sounds fantastic. Now we're flipping it over to side 2, and side 2 is Cold Turkey. Now Cold Turkey, just amazing. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just pause this because I want to show you the first record that was about Cold Turkey, not the John Lennon sometime in New York City or earlier John Lennon records when he did the John Lennon album, but actual Cold Turkey before there was a term, I believe, Cold Turkey, although there was always get the monkey off my back, monkey's on my back, so maybe there was always a Cold Turkey, but I don't know. But I'm going to show you the for me the original Cold Turkey record, and I think you should also give it a listen. I know it's a little bit off these margins here, but I think it's worth it. So just give me 1 second. We will be right back. Keep your eyes on Elvis. There it is. There it is, upside down. The Man with the Golden Arm. If you're not familiar with The Man with the Golden Arm, check out this film starring Frank Sinatra right after, I believe, he won his Oscar. So this is a jazz record, music composed by Elmore Bernstein, and it features Shelly Manne, the great jazz drummer. Marina Ferguson's on this record. There's a bunch of people. This video is not about this record. I will do one about this record, but The Man with the Golden Arm is about a drug addict drummer who was released from prison, tried to clean up his act, went back into playing jazz drummer, and someone introduced him to smack again. And it shows you the cold turkey process. Sinatra actually worked in hospitals and rehabs with addicts to see how they reacted when their body craved the heroin, and it's really cool. So here's the original Decca record. I was really lucky to find this for a buck at a thrift shop. So that's just a sidebar. I wanted to point that out, and I forgot to bring it down. But that's the original for me, Cold Turkey, The Man with the Golden Arm. But now let's get back to the music. Cold Turkey starts off with this really unbelievable badass guitar, man. He is rocking. John never sounds so good. The bass comes in, sax player comes in, and as you know, most of the time they play this Cold Turkey, it usually transitions into Don't Worry Kyoko. Now Kyoko is Yoko's daughter from another marriage that had a really nebulous relationship and bizarre relationship where her husband, an American, kept her from John and Yoko, and don't even know how the story ends. But people out there will know. If you know, comment. I hope everything worked out. But I never hear Sean talk about his half sister. But I'm not into every aspect of Sean's thing. But overall, Don't Worry Kyoko is great. I really like Yoko's vocals. It's not for everybody. I'm glad they put on a Yoko track on here, because the Yoko detractors, man, they are vicious. They don't listen to Yoko at all. John actually, the later albums, he would actually put one side was Yoko, one side was John, but then he said, you know what? F these people. They don't want to listen to Yoko. I'll make them get up and change the record. And he would do a Lennon vocal, Yoko vocal, Lennon vocal, Yoko vocal, and but that got easier to mix on your CD. You could program that if you weren't into Yoko, but I am. Now this record, when Cold Turkey and Don't Worry Kyoko comes on, and the subtext is Mommy's only looking for a hand in the snow. That's really bizarre. But anyway, when I heard that, I'm thinking of Frank Zappa when John was jamming with Zappa on John and Zappa, man, wild stuff. So I was thinking of that. But this one-to-one show is just amazing. Okay, so love it. Great EP. Buy it. If you have to spend double the money, it will be worth it. I'm not one to just blow smoke. If I don't like a record, I let you know. I don't have any. Even if they gave me this record, if I didn't like it, I tell you why buy it. It's just what they call a money grab. I don't use that term, but money grab. So if you need this, if you're a Lennon person and you just want to hear the one-to-one concert, how it should have been heard originally, and Sean said, we really had a tough time and a fun time. It was a challenge to get the clarity that we want for 2025. And again, we are in a golden age of vinyl. We are in a golden age of technology, as I don't have to tell you guys. Everybody knows that. So regarding that, clear vocals, clear sounding, just love it, buy it. Not going to tell you anything else. It's beautiful. It's great to have. But the good news is Sean has announced that in October of this year, for John's birthday, they are going to release a box set of the one-to-one concert. And that would be, I hope it's all the shows. That would be cool, all 4 shows, but I doubt it. Probably going to be gleaming from all 4 shows the best tracks, or maybe one show and then best tracks from other shows. Maybe there'll be a booklet in there and great photos that we've never seen. There's also going to be a documentary regarding the one-to-one concert that I think drops this week or in April sometime. It may have been dropped. I use that term now. I don't use vinyls. I don't say vinyls. I say records. I say albums. But I do say, the record's going to drop and the movie's going to something new. I'm trying to acclimate to the newer world. But Sean has made that announcement. Both shows, which are, I believe they're, I don't know if I read this right, 4 shows or 2 shows, I'm not sure, but he was going to release stuff from the shows. Now I'm thinking there may be songs obviously that he did differently from one show to the other. Maybe there's some I don't know the history of this, of one-to-one. That's a long time ago. Whatever I knew, I forgot. But don't know if there's tracks that he did on one show and didn't do on another show. So we'll see that. But all the shows will be represented. I believe that's going to be around October 9th, when John's birthday. So that's really cool. Now, not to toot my own horn, but a few months ago, I pulled out the one-to-one, sometime in New York City, as it was called, CD, and talked about it and said, this really deserves a remaster. This really deserves to be cleaned up, because I was always disappointed in the sound of that record. Whether I got even the record, even though it's not a digital, even though it was analog, it didn't sound great to me, and I think that's why, again, it didn't really resonate with the fans. But John, when you hear John Lennon in concert, he is doing what the great troubadours did. He would sing it differently. He would stop and start. When he does Well, 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 it's completely different from the version that's on the CD. He actually says, I took my lover out to dinner. He does that a few times. He actually talks and rocks. It's like when, any great artist, when they do a record live, I don't want to hear the record live as if I'm listening to it on a record. I want to hear it fresh. I want to hear some nuances, and that's what John gives you. And if I'm comparing Lennon and Paul live doesn't do it for me, because Paul tends to strictly go by the book. He maybe jams somewhat, but he goes by the book. Unfortunately, we don't have a lot of, obviously we don't have a lot of Lennon to dissect live. Some piece in Toronto, sometime piece in Toronto, or that version. That was great, because that was definitely raw. No rehearsals. They rehearsed on the plane. But John's stuff on this record, The Power to the People, John and Yoko with the Plastic Ono Band, and Elephant's Memory, it just rocks out. So I recommend it. I hope I got through what I wanted to say on here. I took some notes, but I never read my notes. I just go from here, from the. But again, they did an audio restoration on this. The original mix was compromised somewhat. We don't know why. John maybe didn't have things, but that's it. Just look forward to the box set, and I'm going to put on the back end, if I can find it, my little review on 1-to-1 sometime in New York City live or whatever it's called. And we'll talk about that at another time. If you like it, please listen, please watch, please like and subscribe. Really appreciate it. So keep rocking, and we will see you soon. Thank you. Really appreciate it. And I really appreciate all the subs once again. So pick up this record. I'm just going to pick it up because I just love this yellow. And yellow comes out really good on this tape here, on this recording. So keep rocking. Thanks a lot. And we have something to look forward to in October. There's going to be a lot of good stuff coming out. John Lennon box set. Maybe we'll get Revolver. Maybe we'll get an anthology box set. I hope we don't get too much all at once, but we probably will. Keep rocking. Cheers.